I want to be very clear. The economic policies should not make us forget or disrupt a third priority, the strengthening of national unity. At present, we bear witness of the existence of not only a dual economy, that is, of thriving sectors and other ones that have fallen behind. But as a result of such, there is also a fragmented society at both socioeconomic and regional levels between the North and the South. In order to decrease such deficiencies, the role of the government is essential. The state must be the great promoter and regulator of the efficient operation of the markets. In summary, the facilitator of our development processes. Rich and developed zones with high standards of living coexisting with depressed regions in extreme poverty with a worrying marginalization is no longer acceptable, because this scenario generates distrust, ungovernability, and delinquency. The objective is that the development and strengthening of markets may spread all over the national territory by creating opportunities for everyone. In other words, we must be able to build and boost a policy of comprehensive development on the territory, where the investment in infrastructure may be the trigger of a buoyant domestic market that complements our exporting sector. In terms of culture, we must consolidate and define new social values of national identity. The priority is to maintain the recent democratic advances and make progress towards a more fair, participative, transparent, honest, and solidarity nation that contributes to the reinforcement of the rule of law and our sense of belonging. If we are capable of achieving an accelerated progress, this has to be accompanied by a new social balance that promotes both competitiveness and respectful coexistence. The key is to advocate for minimum consensus, regardless of our political or ideological preferences. National unity will enable us to positively assume and harness globalization and be a major player in the ongoing trends. Globalization offers to us challenges and opportunities derived from the integration of financial and capital flows, the increase in trade, and the transference of technology. We must take advantage of globalization to narrow the gaps between levels of income, productivity, competitiveness among the NAFTA member countries. Similarly, Mexico must work closely with the United States to reach an agreement to regulate labor migration and channel it legally. The best scheme is that of the temporary labor migration, just as the one we have started to apply with Canada in certain sectors. Mexicans already in the United States should also have a chance to legalize their status. As we've said, Mexico must develop its economy in order to increase job opportunities for Mexicans in our side of the border. Mexico can also take advantage of being part of the G5 and the expand dialogue with the G8 to promote its own development agenda and play a more active role in the world. Among Mexico's global strategies should be to enter into alliances with other emerging economies, just as China and India have done with the sub-Saharan Africa. Likewise, Mexico has to take on a commitment with environmental preservation so that its development is not limited by the shortage of vital natural resources like water, which in a world of increased scarcity may constitute a competitive advantage over the other nations. Let me have our final remarks on what I just have said and be open to answer any question you may have. In order to address each and every one of the national priorities that I have outlined, Mexico requires an adequate institutional framework and, above all, competent human capital. In like manner, the possibility of achieving the mentioned goals will depend on the place education is given as a crucial factor in true development. In other words, we must define education as the center of the national relaunching projects. We have to assume that the technological revolution will continue to transform our daily lives in a more radical manner than the whole of the technological innovation of the past. Nowadays, technology does not only mean machines and high-tech gadgets, but innovative processes and ideas. It means added value, national wealth, and improved living standards. Therefore, our educational revolution must meet two specific objectives. First, provide the population with knowledge tools to innovate ideas, services, and products. And second, increase the adaptation ability of the population towards change. Because if there is something certain in the future, is that the change will accelerate and reach every aspect of our lives. We are aware that globalization will continue creating unprecedented opportunities and challenges. The best way of approaching them is through our domestic strength. No one else will do for us what we have to do no one else will do for us what we have to do in order to strengthen and modernize Mexico. Hence, the importance of this prospective overview to timely anticipate changes that will force us to modify our traditional way of doing things, to design, as from now on, strategic public policies that exceed short-term views and everyday decisions. And I'm sure that this prospective overview, the contribution and remarks of the members of the WorldFuture Society will be very enriching. This is very, I don't know if brief, but at least brief introduction of our point of view, what is happening with the emerging economies all over the world, and what is the special situation of Mexico, what are the conditions we have, and the challenges we have for our country. And something I would like to remark is the great challenge we have in Mexico, and I think in the whole Latin America, in order to contrast poverty and to make more equilibrated, how would you say, sociedad igualitaria?
Where there's more equality in society.
More equality in society. You understood it well.